All right, grasshoppers. It is Tuesday. What is it? No, it's Monday morning. That's right.
Monday. Yeah, I know. I'm getting kind of confused here myself.
I don't even know if I had talked about it. I think I mentioned it on the show. I was thinking that we would maybe just put our two shows together, just do the Tuesday show with you and I and Molly instead of.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
This is different. This is more hockey stuff and boxing stuff and stuff.
We talk about goofy stuff and pooping and everything.
Well, that's easy. Yeah.
Isn't that true? Yeah.
Yeah. There's something wrong with this for sure, but
beautiful weekend too. I was actually in the city yesterday. So it's I keep forgetting they had it was a half marathon, I think it was.
Yes.
So I take the train into Grand Central, and then the half marathon goes right across 42nd Street, right below. So you can't cross. But there's this underground tunnel where you go into Grand Central that you can get underneath 42nd Street on the other side. Of course, there's like thousands of people around. I can't figure out. I'm wandering around trying to find this like an idiot. So, all right, Mimsy. Well, go ahead. Sorry, Mimsy, just saying.
No, it's beautiful. Hey, Mims. Pretty nice this morning. I already went out and got some morning sun, did a little shadow boxing and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice. I feel like this is terrible, but I feel like I'm becoming the creepy old man or something. Like I'm a friendly guy in the gym. Like I'm not necessarily trying to hit on women all the time. I just like having fun. So there's this attractive young Asian woman, and she's in there working out all the time. So I see it. One of those things, you see somebody all the time, it's kind of rude not to talk to them, I think. But I think she thinks I'm trying to hit on her all the time because she sees me coming and she turns and goes the other way. So I'm like,
that's usually a sign.
Yeah.
Pretty clear.
I feel like the creepy old man, though. It's like, funny. Like she did it. So Sunday we're in the gym. There wasn't hardly any people in the gym on Sunday morning. And there's that, those big rooms, where they have the classes and everything.
Yeah.
And I was taking the Bosu ball and putting it back where it belongs. So I come walking to the door to leave, and she's walking towards the door to go in. She's turned, like it just totally turned around and walked away.
You're a big dude, so it's hard not to see your presence or feel it. Yeah.
Right. I guess, yeah. I have been told I can intimidate people. But then today she's walking into the gym, I'm leaving, and she sees me coming and she stops. So we're like in this private area. So she doesn't but I think she must have changed her mind because then she went ahead and walked in. I said, "Hey, Lucy, how are you?" She goes, "Hi, Tom." She's really nice and pleasant, but yeah.
Well, maybe you were just reading it wrong. Who knows?
It could be. I don't do a good job of reading situations, especially with women. I do not read things well. This is correct. Yes. What we got here? Our buddy William Haynes. How you doing there, veteran?
There he is.
Chicago.
Thank you for your service.
Magical
Good
Deborah
Chicago.
Anderson.
My son moved out to Chicago, Bill.
Yes,
about a month ago. Yeah.
Yeah, the Rangers, you pointed out they're 11-1 in the second game of back-to-back.
Yeah, so like that kind of goes against everything you and I and Brendan. Is it Brendan Duffy? Yeah. Brendan, because it's Brian Duffy too, his brother.
Yeah,
Brian's brother. So that's and
well, you know what it is. We talked about it a lot. So the analytics will bear it out that teams don't play as well in the second game. Right. But again, they've been fed that over years and years that they're going to be tired in the second game instead of like Tortorella. Never
gets in your brain.
Yeah, Tortorella one time in a playoff series was asked about being tired the next night. He said, "No, I don't want to talk about that. We're not going to be tired." Like he was good. He said, "No."
Yeah. And some of they played the Canes the second game last weekend.
Yeah, good team.
It's a tough. Yeah, it's a tough team to play the second. In a back-to-back.
I did. Did you watch the game yesterday? They play. How did they play?
It's New York Ranger hockey. Look, there's a couple guys out there that, they're just playing keep away, and the skill set is so high. Trocheck made a pass to Panarin that should be illegal. It was just 2-on-1. Panarin's going down the right side, and Trocheck just the D-man kind of went down. He sauced it, and I'm pretty sure Panarin picked it out of the air. And their skill set's just incredible.
I know.
But sometimes there are times where you go, shoot it. Please shoot it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Especially at home too. I think they put on a little bit of a show. It's natural to put on a little bit of a show when you're at home, right? Yeah. But is your son in the? Mr. Haynes wants to know: is your son in the city or the burbs?
He's in the city, Bill. This is the second time that he's lived out there. He's an actor and he does some improv. And anyhow, it's the second time out there because the Second City Improv is in Chicago. They have a lot of improv in Chicago, tons of it. Right. And I'll have to check, Bill, but the last time he was living out there 3 years ago was in Lincoln Park section of Chicago.
Can we have his exact address, please, so people come in here? Phone number? Yeah. Social security number? Bank account number? He's an actor. Yeah, I forgot. I keep forgetting that he's an actor. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Struggling like they all do, but nonetheless,
All right. Yeah,
very
but,
talented.
following your dream. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Do what
I
you
didn't
love
see
what you
this
do.
hit. I didn't see the hit. Lingman got hurt.
Yeah, I couldn't really like. I was on the phone and I was trying to pay attention. I couldn't really determine exactly how if it was an ACL or what happened. It kind of that poor kid, man. He's held together with bubblegum tape to begin with.
God, he plays so hard too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What's he? What now? Have you met him? Is he like a tweener, like 195 or something? I don't know how. Big
If that,
he
I've
is.
seen him in street clothes. I really never talked to him, but he looks like he's frail. Yeah.
You know, and a lot of guys. I mean,
go ahead.
These guys can play like that now because of the fact that the game has changed. It's a skating game. You know.
William Haynes. He's got the day off. Today, really, years ago, my grandparents came from Poland.
Okay. Yeah, it's a nice. Beth and I went out. I'm trying to remember now what it was before COVID or after. I think it was before. But in any event, yeah, it's a nice part of Chicago where he was living.
I was on Friday. I did a ranger event in Staten Island.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the large Asian population there.
Oh. Is that right?
Really diverse population. There's hardly any just white kids. It was all the kids were fantastic too.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. I love those things too because they first get there that you can tell they're kind of quiet and shy and they kind of most of them hadn't played hockey before. By the time they're done, we were all doing we're doing this dance, and the whole bit.
Fired up. That's good stuff. Yeah. Not I think a week from today I'm speaking at a middle school here. To the 7th graders and then the 8th graders, cool. Training and stuff. And
very cool.
I'm going to make it interactive and pull some kids down. And
good.
Not
how did you get that? Did you approach them?
No. So my friend, they approached me on this one, but one of my best friends, Jeff Remo, he's coached up here in Mahwah for decades, and he would have me in every year to speak to the football team, and then it's been football team about running mechanics, and then other times he'd bring me into with his health class to go over steroid abuse and stuff like that. So really? They kind of so they knew about me, and I'm excited. It's
when you get into the steroid abuse, did you get in like technically showing them what it does to your body?
Well, I explained to them exactly what it does to your body, and one of the things I spoke at a high school, Keensburg, New Jersey, and I said, how many guys play football? And you see about 50 hands go up, and I don't say anything. I said, but here's the deal: you're king of the campus now. You keep doing steroids, you're going to be the homecoming queen, because everything shuts down. I mean, your natural production shuts down.
Right. And you consider steroids as what? Like, so what does that include? Winstrol and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, anything that's they call them anabolic steroids. They have an androgenic effect. So you got androgenic, which is tissue building, and then you got catabolic, which is muscle or tissue damaging. You need a fine balance of those, right?
Right.
But anabolic is, so you recover faster and it helps regenerate new tissue. That's why steroids work.
Right.
You can train harder. But I mean, there's so many.
So I'm going to say something a little controversial. I'm not saying this is good. So what some of the issues that happen to you as you age, you lose your testosterone level.
Correct.
Typically. Correct. Or is that just automatic? You lose your
and women? It does as you age. So does your growth hormone. I mean, your growth hormone peaks out at about 25 years of age, and then there's a very subtle decline. Yeah, right. It's nature, And here's the thing, though. Getting back to testosterone levels, they've dropped precipitously in the past couple decades. I mean, really dropped like 50% of what they used to be. Now, there's contributing factors. One is obesity. That'll lower your testosterone. Mm-hmm. It's also the toxic environment that we live in. When I say toxic, I mean chemicals added to shampoos and detergents and things that we're exposed to. That also has a deleterious effect at test levels. And also the fact that we are more sedentary than ever before. Right. So that, it's a proven fact that if you train hard, physical activity keeps your testosterone level elevated.
Did I tell you what a trainer I met was saying that he thinks he can control the testosterone level with fasting?
I mean, it could be. There is some thought to the fact that regeneration or that autophagy will have an impact on your endocrine, your testosterone and all your estrogens and everything like that. And so there is some fact to that. I would be cautious to say that it's going to be such a large. Yeah.
What's up, brother?
See, that's why we got to stay here because of my good man Keith.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so you get, so I think it's a byproduct of it. I wouldn't use it specifically to raise your test level, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, isn't it? That's one of those things too, though. And no disrespect to this trainer, he seemed like a really intelligent young guy.
Mm-hmm.
People do have their beliefs, right? Like, and there's so many different theories out there.
And again, if he's combining that with, if he's a trainer, then he's probably combining that with some other things like the training aspect of it, his diet, keeping himself not exposed to using even your shampoo, organic, and soap, stuff like that. So in combination, he's doing the right thing for sure. Yeah, because if he's doing that, I'm sure he's doing all the other things.
Okay, so you age, then your testosterone level drops. So you believe you don't need to supplement that with artificial testosterone?
Well, I mean, if you go to the doctor and if you're, let's put it this way, if you're in your 30s or 40s and your test level's really low, yeah, absolutely. The issue becomes now the TRT or testosterone replacement treatments are good and they're bad. The good part of it is if you go to a doctor and your test level is say like at 125 or 200 and it gets with supplementation back to 600, that's great. But if you're already at 600, I know a doctor right down the street will write your script and you'll be up to 1200, which is not healthy. So, but yeah, am I doing TRT? Yeah, but so it can be abused for sure. Like everything else.
Does your body stop producing its own testosterone once you're taking
so when your body sees exogenous or outside sources of testosterone, your own production shuts down at what would be a normal level for your age. So for instance, my age, normal would be anywhere as low as 450, say, to a high of 650 to 700, somewhere in that range. So if it's lower than 450, I may need replacement. We don't want to go past that 600 or 700. So if you do go past that point, your body's going to say, hey, listen, we don't need to produce anymore. It shuts down and you can get testicular atrophy. And
but if you don't go past that 600, what level is, your body's still producing.
Still producing, and it's got to be monitored by the doctor because he may cycle you off for a little while so that you don't lose your own natural production of it. Yeah.
And then isn't there some medication you could take then to help your body produce once you're cycling off?
No, once you're off, it could be a problem. If your testes shut down production of testosterone, it may be a while or maybe never till it kicks in back to the regular production. If you've abused, and that's pretty excessive abuse, would mitigate that, or not mitigate, but would cause it. So yeah.
And doesn't it raise your estrogen level too?
No, testosterone is the opposite of estrogen. So testosterone is the male hormone that makes you grow a beard, produces muscle, all that kind of stuff. Where estrogen is, the feminizing, no hair.
But women can take testosterone as well, right?
Well, if they take enough of it, they'll have to shave and their voice gets real deep. Look at any professional, I'm not making statements that people don't realize. Professional female bodybuilders abuse anabolic steroids. And if you got close enough, you could see where they have a beard.
Yeah.
They will have a very deep voice. Yeah. I'm not being judgmental here. I'm just stating facts.
Yeah.
And they will also have something else that's very pronounced, if you get my drift. Well, because that's what it does.
All right. So again, this is kind of controversial here, so I'm not making a statement that people should do this. HGH. So there's the other thing that happens to you as you age. You lose your muscle mass, correct?
Yeah, that's it's called sarcopenia. But again, what are we talking? Will you lose 50% of your muscle? Yeah, if you're obese and you have absolutely no activity. Right. If you train every day and you eat right, and you're going to have some, but it's not going to be pronounced.
Right. So some people believe then, and again, this is the controversial part, that if done properly, HGH can help people as they get older to maintain that mass. Yeah, theoretically, that makes sense, right?
Yeah. So the counterpoint to that is that if you have any, say, cancerous cells in your body, you're adding fuel to the fire with it, because HGH is a growth hormone. It creates growth. And with the HGH too, also I should say there's no long-term studies done to see does it even work.
Right.
See,
that is the thing with these things, like both testosterone and HGH. There's really no studies on it to prove good or bad. I mean, there's the theories, like you said with HGH, it is a human growth hormone, so everything in your body has the opportunity to grow. Right?
So it's so on this topic, we're all on YouTube, and YouTube sees what your interests are, and over a period of time, there's an algorithm. So I get hockey stuff, I get boxing, I get training stuff, and I get a lot of stuff to do with just what we're talking about, any kind of supplementations. Peptides, or SARMs. I forget what the acronym stands for. It has to do with the receptor site. But anyhow, these are not legally defined as anabolic steroids. So they kind of fall into a great market category. And that seems to be something that people are abusing, SARMs or peptides. Again, I mean, what are we striving for here? We can't return. I'm pretty old. I'm not going to get back to 28 or 38 ever again. But can I be the best version of me now? I'm working on it. Am I? I don't think so. But that's why I get up every morning and try to work a little harder.
I hear it bugs me too. I hear like people say that at 65 years old, you chance that one guy had a video said greater chance of falling down and breaking your hip, and then you're going to die. And I was like, well, no, it's your lack of conditioning that makes you going to want to fall down and break your hip and then die.
Well, these are all statistics compiled primarily by insurance companies.
Yeah.
Because they need to predict when you're going to tap out, and that dictates the costs of your life insurance. So a lot of even the obesity charts and a lot of the charts we use for that kind of stuff are developed by, and some of them go back to the 50s. Some of that.
I know. I think we talked about this. I was going to get life insurance a while ago, and they put in my weight, and they called me obese based on my weight. What did you check me out?
Well, because exactly, and those are those 1950 charts. Yeah. Because they don't take into account what is muscle mass, what is fat, what is bone. Then
it's funny that probably about 2 months ago it was snowing. It was kind of a wet snow. And going into my car, leaving my place, it's kind of like a little downhill. So I was trying to be careful, but I was tamping down the damn snow. It was turning into ice immediately, or at least slippery. Yeah. So I went to take a step, fell right in my rear end.
Yeah. Well, that's totally different. Yeah.
But you know what, though? I actually loved it because I laid there for a second, said, nothing's hurt.
Right.
65, nothing's hurt. Popped up. The only thing I was worried about was somebody saw me fall down. That was the only concern.
Oh, I'm good for a digger at least once a week, especially when it's flip flop season. Because the front of my flip flop, I almost went through. I have a jersey from these Russian kids that I coached, and it's in a big frame glass, right?
Right.
And it's at the end, so you go up the stairs and you're gonna go up here. It's right here, and I was going up yesterday in front of my flip flop. I almost went head first through it, and there would be some explaining to do with who for that one. Yeah.
That's boss. What do we think about testosterone treatments medically?
No, that's what I was getting at, Bill. If it's medically required, absolutely. It's just that there are doctors that will prescribe these replacement even if you don't require it, and that's all I'm saying is that there's even you could do blood work, send it to Florida. Florida's kind of a wild, open territory. And they'll get you a doctor to prescribe you whatever you really want.
Totally.
So medically, absolutely.
Yeah. Because some doctors, they'll give it to you no matter what. They make it look like they're doing all these tests and everything. There's other doctors.
A lot of them are.
And a lot of doctors won't even look at it. They just don't believe in it at all.
It gets back to, again, one of the toughest things you and I deal with is male ego.
Oh, yeah.
And at some point, you just have to realize time moves on, be the best you can be where you are. I mean, I would love to be 25 years old again, but
I know. I know you're right. In theory, you're right. But
I know. But don't hate it. Embrace it.
Yeah.
In the sense that look at the way you are now at this age because you work hard and wear that proudly. Yeah.
Let me see here.
It's I never thought I'd get to 42.
I know, right? For 10 years in a row too.
Yeah.
Because of steroids, they had no sex drive. True.
Yeah, well, that's what happens, Danny. Because I won't name names, but there was an NHL player who called me one time. He was in a panic, and he said, "You got to come over." And I said, "All right." Well, I thought something was going on, right? So I get there. I said, "What's the problem?" And he had a female acquaintance upstairs, and he couldn't rise to the occasion. And he at that time was sitting out, let's say, because of he got kind of caught using performance-enhancing drugs. And just to that point, I said, listen, you got a problem. Everything's shut down. He goes, when's it coming back? I said, not for a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know there was one player I had when I was in the agent business, and it was in a St. Louis locker room. They had a big bucket of Viagra. They had sleeping pills. And I'm thinking, okay, sleeping pills still aren't good. They were just grabbing them. There was no prescription whatsoever. But why would an NHL team have?
Well, who was the coach? Do you recall who the coach was?
I don't.
Because Ken Hitchcock, because he was in St. Louis. Because he did tell the guys, listen, guys, we got to play hard. All right. We got to really play hard tonight. So No.
Sweetheart, I get it. You're terrible. Like, what did you say before? Oh no, I won't use that joke before. Muscle memory knows no age limit. In 5.5 months, hip replacement, my pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're 100%, Doug. And the thing is, keep learning new skills. So, I'm playing the piano again. I took, I did it till I was like 20 something. I was really teaching to teachers and all that kind of stuff. Let it alone, and I picked it up again. Now I'm teaching myself jazz and blues off of YouTube. Cool. So that's for here, right?
Yeah.
And then, one of the things about, even boxing, I've been around it for a long time. There's still new things you can work on.
Yeah.
And that,
it's very interesting. I saw a video this morning. Yeah, I keep forgetting his name. I think we talked about it before. A black gentleman who's always on videos. Very intelligent guys. He's talking about space and he's got some great theories. But he used the example like people like kids when they're taking say some advanced math in school. They say, well, I'm never going to use this. I'm never going to use this math. But he says, but that's not the point. He says, and I know you know this. So you're training your brain to learn things. I thought that was pretty cool the way he put it. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's just learning. And I've learned that more like the last 6 or 7 years. Like I just feel like I went through a period of time there where I just stopped learning. I said, okay, this is me. This is the way it is. And I just realized now, like you're talking, the more you're learning, like your brain gets better, you're sharper. Yeah. And the theory is that all these proteins go from your brain down to your body to make you feel better too. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we sometimes lose sight of the fact that we are an organism. So the brain isn't completely separated from your stomach. Your stomach isn't separated from your heart. It's all, it all works together. Probably we don't really even understand. I mean, but yet in our everyday conversations, sick to my stomach over that. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Why would your stomach be affected by something that upset you? Because it's connected to your brain. It's connected to your emotions, right? She died of a broken heart. What does that mean? Well, people really do. If you look at, especially people have been married or together for decades, and they get elderly, one of them dies very shortly after. Generally speaking, the other one will pass.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing too. I know you're losing people, but I think it's really beautiful in some ways that close. My mother, or my grandfather and grandmother on my father's side were like that. She was in a wheelchair. My grandfather took care of her. She passed away. That was it. A couple months later. Yeah, I guess. So yeah. Oh, Deb, thank you very much. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Tyson. That's the gentleman I was talking about. Man, he's got some good stuff too. Yeah, he went into a great speech the other day because a lot of it's all science with him and everything, but he got into talking about dogs. Now dogs live their lives because they're 7 years for 1 year for a human. So the dogs so they don't have as long a time. So they really get into live their life. I thought he used as an example for humans that we should all look at life that way. We're not going to be here that long, so get the most out of it. So
boy, it goes fast. Yeah.
Here's an interesting topic. Would you like to do a podcast of my colonoscopy next week? I'm sure it'll be a shit show. Now, were you up last night, Ira, thinking of that?
That's good. I like it.
St. Patty's Day. A lot of green in the city. Again, I was in the city there. I was telling Mark. So I take the train into Grand Central. And the southern end of Grand Central is 42nd Street. And they had a half marathon. That went right across 42nd Street. Of course, everything's blocked off. So I got to get south. So I'm trying to figure out how am I going to get across here? And I know there's this walkway underneath. You go into Grand Central somehow. And I was walking, I feel like an idiot. I was walking around, seeing the same people that are walking around for 20 minutes looking for this. Finally figured it out though. So everything's good.
Well, yesterday I wore my Notre Dame cap that says Irish on the side because Beth went to St. Mary's, which is like right across the street from Notre Dame.
Oh, okay.
At that time, it was still wasn't co-ed. Notre Dame wasn't co-ed yet. So all the cheerleaders came from St. Mary's. So anyhow, we go to games a couple times a year. But so I was wearing that. And I was wearing my neon green. Like the workman's
color. Got green pants? You've got green pants?
On the inside, yeah. Well, that's another story. But like that neon green, like all the maintenance work the town guys wear.
Oh yeah, yes.
I have a great one. It's Cruther. It's really warm, and I like to wear it when I'm hiking, so I don't get shot primarily. Yeah. But I was training one day, like down by the park, and had it on, and people they must have thought I worked for the town because they're coming up with sewer questions and stuff. I'm just.
I've noticed that there's a lot of people wearing those jackets too, and I'm thinking there must be police officers or crossing guards.
Oh, this is a hoodie. Like it's a hoodie. But anyhow, I wore that yesterday at my Irish because it's green and green. So, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have any green on. Didn't have a green beer. That's a couple of green vodkas. No, they were green.
William, in Chicago, they paint the river green with a biologically friendly. I forget what it's used for, fertilizer or something. Yeah.
See, only you would call it a biologically friendly. Instead of just dye. right? You can
Yeah.
you have a choice right there. You could just say it's dye, or you say
Sure.
it's biologically chemical.
Well, I
And
don't
you know
want to
that-
get. Listen,
you
man,
know-
I don't need John Kerry coming for me. That's so.
He's focused. I saw a picture of the
It's
paper
a
the other
mental
day.
case.
What's he popped up again for? Man, I thought he was living in his big fancy
Because
house.
he said that I'm going to paraphrase here, but basically what he said, he's not upset with Russia invading Ukraine as long as they're
Oh yeah,
environmentally responsible.
yeah.
What?
I know that was funny. That's what you sent me that video. I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh,
Like
that was
the guy's
hilarious.
a mental case.
Well,
He
yeah, you know,
really
I
is.
like the way they say it too, like with total conviction that this is really the
like,
truth.
This
Yeah.
is the truth. Yeah.
Well, the press secretary,
Insane.
the press secretary with the curly hair,
Yeah, the
that's
Cupid
going to
doll.
be the
Yeah.
most. I feel bad for her because she's
Me
getting
too,
paid. Yeah, she's
She
getting
doesn't
paid
make
to
a
send
lot.
a
She
message.
makes only like 180 grand. I mean, 180 grand is good money, but for that job, should be 18
Oh.
million.
She's got to go home at night and just can't take a long enough shower, right? But get all that crap on me. Like, jeez. I mean, like the things she's saying, there's one reporter that's constantly bringing up stuff about Biden's health issues.
Yeah.
And, you know, he says facts and everything, talks about pictures and videos, and she just totally denies it. Like she
Yeah.
acts, he's got,
Oh, yeah.
is that happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the kid with chocolate all over his face. Did you eat? Nah.
I was going down to 28th Street to see a friend there, Susan.
Mm.
A nice little hike over on 10th Avenue. So it was about a half-hour hike. Took me 15 minutes just to get
It was a good day for that.
Oh,
because
yeah.
they like that weather.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Put the hiking boots on, went for a good walk. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
How many miles would that be? Like 3 or 4 miles, maybe? Something like that. Yeah, I like going to the city with a day like that, where it's just a little crisp, nice sun, like going on. Yeah, it was. It was a lot
I
of-
think one of the best trips I had on my own was I went over to Europe, 2004, for the World Cup, and they had 4 teams there. They had Russia. I'm sorry.
So you went by yourself?
No, I went
Oh,
as part of a team at the NHL.
Oh,
It was
oh,
like
okay.
Greg Millen. Who's the
Oh.
coach from LA? What's his name? Bob. LA.
Bob
Or
Harley?
Mike Murphy.
Mike Murphy. Murph
Mike Murphy.
guy.
Anyhow, Chris King. Remember Chris? Well,
Oh,
you played
yeah.
with him, right?
played against him.
Yeah. So anyhow, we went over just to because it was NHL rules that they went by. So it was Czech Republic, Germany, Sweden, and Finland. And so during the day, all I could just sightsee. I'd go walk for 6 hours and come back to a hotel room and went, wow. Because it was just
Yeah.
so much to see. You know?
I'm laughing because I'm thinking of Mike Murphy. He's a great guy. He coached me. He was coaching in LA when I got traded there.
Correct. Oh, okay.
So the next year we had training camp. We were in Victoria, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And as young men sometimes do, we wandered into one of those ballet places, the Canadian Ballet. And somehow one of the young ladies there and I kind of hit it off.
Mhm.
We had like there's chemistry.
She knew you could plie.
So unbeknownst to me, she shows up at practice the next day. So the building's empty at training camp. So anyone watches this blonde, attractive blonde, and she sits down. Now all the guys were with me, so they knew who she was.
What's up? Yeah.
So they eventually, the guys, they're all laughing and dying and everything. I'm just embarrassed. And Murph turns and looks at me. You can go home now. And sent me off practice.
He knew what's up.
Oh yeah, he was that old school guy, right? He was
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
And the guys are all like, "Why does he get to go home?" And
That's a player's coach, right there.
Oh god,
It's a player's coach. Yeah.
I forgot about that story until you said Mike Murphy. That was just part of me was like, okay, that's pretty cool, but the other one was like embarrassed, like because you're at practice.
Yeah.
When he said it, turned and looked at me, he says, "You can go home." Oh god.
Well, you probably played with Greg Millen, wasn't he?
No, I
Didn't
missed
he-
him. No,
But he started in New York, I believe, right? Didn't he?
no, I think he wasn't he. Hartford,
Forget.
maybe. I'm thinking Hartford or something.
You might be right. Yeah.
You could have gotten on. Yeah, I know. I wanted to walk, Susan. You have a good point. I could have jumped on a train, but I want to be. And you know, the city on a Sunday afternoon like that with nice weather, it's always something. Like every street you're on, there's something going on. People want to use it.
Oh yeah. That's the whole thing about the city is the vibe. It's always jumping. There's always stuff going on.
Yeah. Man, there's some dirty spots to it too, though. Pittsburgh, he started. William has done his homework, I'm assuming. Richard Berman. Is this the Richard Berman? Richard Berman, how are you?
Good morning.
Is it the Richard Berman that used to be the president of Manhattanville University? Or call it Manhattanville College? I wonder if that's him.
They have a good hockey program there.
Yes, they do. Division III. Very good
Yeah.
program. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very close to my home. Been there a few times studying. Beautiful campus.
I know some kids that played there. It's a
Yeah.
because I think they're playing at Rye. I think
Yep,
they play
right,
at
play
Rye. I
that.
think they redid the rink too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, why is it that Division One they've got scholarships and everything? Division Two, there's
Yeah.
no scholarships, right?
There's no Division two anymore. So
Oh,
yeah, so years ago when Title IX passed, they did away with Division two entirely because
Oh.
there was a great Division two league of the SUNYs, all the state universities, New York's,
Huh.
Plattsburgh, Cornell. I mean, they're still there, but
Huh.
they're Division three now,
let me see here.
and there's no scholarships.
Did you have Dodge Vomit? I'm assuming you mean Dodge Comet. No.
No, because of St. Patrick's Day.
What's the
Well,
Dodge?
everybody's drinking. Yeah, so
Oh, did you have to Dodge Vomit? Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. Sorry, Bill. Yes. No, there's walking around. There's a little bit on the sidewalks too. It's amazing how like you go through Grand what is it? Middle of
Grand
Central-
Central or Central
No.
Park,
no. What's the bad part? Times Square.
Times Square.
Man, it changes. Man, it gets nasty.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, they're stealing all the phones and everything. I haven't been sure to hold on to my phone.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they have they're very organized now. With it.
Yeah.
It's Venezuelan gangs.
yeah.
We didn't have enough here, so we imported some. Good.
That is the weirdest situation. Like, can anybody figure out what's going on? And like, it's like they're inviting these people in. They're paying for everything. They're paying for the hotels. Is it that some people are theorizing that the Democrats want to bring them in, then they'll feel that like they owe them something. They'll give them the right to vote, and then they'll vote for Democrats. You think that's the truth?
Yeah, I don't want to get too political, but everything's done. Everything is done for a reason.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a wonderful world.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'll tell you, one of my pet peeves now, and maybe I just notice it more now because I'm getting the cranky old bastard. People driving, like they'll just say, you know what, the lights turn red. I don't care. Not only am I not going to slow down, I'm going to step on the gas and go harder.
Yeah, it's like a video game with bad results.
Yeah, no kidding.
Potentially very bad results.
I just think it's a whole level of just not care about anybody else. Like I want to get through that light. I don't care if anybody else gets killed or hurt or
That's
whatever.
The byproduct of living in a very densely populated area. Same thing here. I mean, no one has patience. Everybody, you'll have a grandmother give you the finger. Seriously.
Oh, funny. I was on the Mirror Parkway. So people don't know the Mirror Parkway used to be an old horse and buggy trail.
Yeah.
So it winds around and everything. It's 2 lanes going each way. And very often, like the Subaru drivers appears wants to drive in the fast lane, right in the speed limit. So, and I know this getting on the road, and I go, don't get upset, Tom. Don't get the road rage going. So, you know what happens? Like 5 minutes.
Self-talk is very important.
Yeah. So, I was tailgating some guy. Shouldn't have been doing it. They eventually moved over, and it seemed like a tiny person with a little finger. Like there's a tiny middle finger. He gives me the finger, but it was so funny because it was this tiny little middle finger. I was like, and it was one of the things where they stared straight ahead and just put the finger up to the side.
Yeah.
It's like. Instead of being mad, I was looking. It's like get a real hand. Like give me the finger.
You know what I think it was?
What?
They're just saying you're still number one.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
I should have taken it that way. Yeah, I should have definitely taken it that way. Yeah.
No, it's hard not to get, but you got to be,
Yeah.
let it go. Tell you, there's a guy, Pat Mack, who he's very good. He's on YouTube, and he said because of the road rage, he put the dash cam. He said, but it's more about to keep me in check.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I must be honest. It was St. Patrick's Day, so I had a couple of cocktails in the back deck when I got home, and I told you I'd put a chair in the little opening that goes from my deck, which is all sealed in. So I put a chair there to keep myself in. But yesterday the dogs were barking incessantly, and again I'd had a couple.
You got
So I get up, grab that chair, threw it back. I didn't say anything. Just stared at this guy's got these 2 little dogs. And I'm standing there with a big black T-shirt on a little bit, and I'm up on a hill looking down at him. He's got these 2 little dogs, and he turned and started running away.
You have high ground. You look bigger than you really are. And you're
I
big
know.
to begin with.
And the terrible thing is, I actually enjoyed it. That's the bad thing about it, right?
Yeah. Well, at least you admit it. I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning like, oh, Tom, jeez. I think I'm gonna get maybe chain that chair down so I can't move it.
You should. You know what? It's like. So, do you have enough area in your deck to hang like a sign?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So just say, I was left unsupervised.
Yeah.
And it explains everything.
Give them the signs they have for dogs, right? This dog does bite. Please enter at your own risk. Oh, that would be funny.
Forget the gun. Forget the gun. Beware the dog.
You know, the bad thing is though, it's like sometimes from a distance, I don't really know who the person is. So I'm walking around and somebody said loading, and I'm like, oh, is that the person I just yelled at? Oh God.
So you're like you're like the community ogre, like you just
I feel like, okay,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
point, but okay.
Yeah.
So there's rules, right? Parking rules, picking up after your dog, keep your dog on a leash, but nobody enforces the rules. Like the people that
Mhm.
run the place don't enforce the rules. Workers are coming working past 6 o'clock, but town ordinance says you're supposed to stop. So I'm thinking, okay, well, if nobody else is going to do it, I'm paying a high amount of rent. I'm going to stop it. And I think what happens is too, especially the workers. See, now there's construction. So we get notices. They're building a new clubhouse and pool and the whole bit. So we get notices that we, as residents, that need to go. There's a one-way street. You need to go the right way, and the one-way street you need to park proper spaces. But when the workers come in, they drive down a one-way street the wrong way. They park wherever they want to park. I'm thinking, okay, so I'm paying. They can do whatever they want to do, and I'm paying rent here. So of course, if a guy's going the wrong way down one-way street, and I'm coming the right way, and he's a worker, of course, I take up the whole road. I don't give him any opportunity to go against me. And then it's a standoff at that point, right? It's just not moving.
And how long does this last?
Oh, it's lasted 5 or 10 minutes. You know, I think, okay, I've got the advantage because he's working. He's on the clock. I'm not.
Yeah, I can just sit here, open up a book.
Yeah. And then they wave at me too, like, yeah, right.
Yeah, there he is.
Which isn't it funny when you do it? You think, oh, Tom, you dummy. Like, what's the point? But it feels good.
Try to, oh yeah, well, for the moment, and then you think about it, you go, how old am I? What am I doing?
That is the best part, because we're senior citizens technically now. Here we are.
Yeah,
but you're the same way. You told me stories too, like you guys pooping on your.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. So the mad poopers out here with the dogs in front.
Yeah.
I just put up a sign that says you're under video surveillance. It stopped it.
Oh yeah.
Stopped it. Yeah, I didn't even hook up a camera.
I got a fake camera one time in my old house.
Mm-hmm.
Corner of the building where it's kind of wide open, and you just screw it on there. It looks like it's a real camera.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. Susan Brooks. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Walking. Here's a topic. So when I walk, I did defensive walking. No one.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So so you walk in the city. I'm sure it's the same in Chicago and Los Angeles and all bigger cities. So with a lot of men in particular, especially if there's 2 or 3 of them together, it's like this standoff. You're walking down the sidewalk and they're not moving over, right? They're going 3 wide and there's only one of me. And I'll get in the mood sometimes where I am not moving. And I dropped one guy one time and he starts yelling at me and I turned to look back at him. I said, do you want something? I just smoked him because I think he felt like he probably was getting away with it all the time. Oh, it felt. I imagine hitting some guy on the sidewalk.
Oh my God.
That's terrible. Oh, terrible stuff.
You didn't have a jersey. You didn't wear. I hope you didn't have a jersey on.
My Ranger light.
Yeah.
Oh, I did do that on the beach. Was it this past winter or last one with the whole dog situation on the beach?
Right.
And the guy says, "I'm going to call the cops." I says, "Okay, you tell him it's Tom Laidlaw." He said, "What is it, Tom? TOMLAID." He was shocked that I was giving him my name when he said he's going to call the cops.
Oh my God.
Awful.
You should get go to Party City and get one of those police uniforms.
Oh,
with the big clown feet.
Oh God! We did a podcast with Dave Soak the other day, our Full Change podcast.
Where's he living now?
He's up in the Boston area.
Yeah,
funny guy. He's really cleaned up his life. He had a problem with drugs and alcohol. Done a really good job. Good man. Good. 2 beautiful daughters. But we were telling a story. There's a place in Rye called the Maple Tree establishment, and someone had given us a dog collar for humans, with the spikes on it and everything. And so somehow, one of these brilliant decisions, we decided that we were going to. He put the collar on and crawled into the bar, and I'm whipping him from behind as we're crawling in. The place is packed with, it's like happy hour kind of crowd, and they all know us. We're all in there all the time.
See, today's world, it's nothing.
Yeah, we're walking down. Yeah, walking the streets of Manhattan doing that. Yeah. Oh God! But it's one of those. I'm sure you like. It's one of those stories you look back, and like you're with the guy that you did it with, and you think, did we really do that? And he says, yes, we did it.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're thinking to ourselves, how did we even make that decision to do that? Like, what's the point of that?
Yeah, I don't want to revisit stuff I did a long time ago because it's not good. Yeah.
And I like when people now say, "Oh, kids these days."
Yeah, it's just it's all part of.
Yeah. Oh God, some of the stupid stuff.
Continues.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it continues now.
Yeah.
I a couple 3 years ago I bought this Title box that makes it. It's a ball about this big, and it gets hung laterally. So the ball's here, and you punch it. Right?
Yeah.
So it comes with like Velcro loops. So I would take it in the woods and find 2 trees that were the right distance apart and then do my workout up there. So I'm texting what I thought was my friend Augie saying, hey, because he's a football coach. Say, hey, coach, I got a new toy. Next time on our hike, I'm going to strap it to a tree. And I sent that to Beth, and I got a return text saying, listen, I don't know what kind of weird shit you and your boyfriend are into, but don't be dragging me into it. I don't want to know about it. Yeah.
Was she able to decipher what had happened, or is she just
Yeah.
giving you a hard time?
Yeah, she's got a very good sense of humor.
And she's known you long enough too that she knows.
She needs it. Yeah.
That is the worst thing, right? When you text something to the wrong person,
It's out there. You can't bring it
God.
back. Yeah.
So when I was going on Survivor, the girl I've seen at the time was not happy about it. She didn't feel secure with me going to Survivor. She was real open and honest about it. She said, I should be behind you on this. I just can't seem to get behind it. So I didn't know for sure whether I just was trying out. So didn't know for sure whether I was on the show or not. So they called me, said, Tommy made the show. So I thought I was texting my sons to let them know I was going to be on the show. I was texting her and I hadn't told her yet again. So it's like, I think something like, oh, I made the show. I'm on Survivor. And I knew how she felt about the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, oh my God.
That probably went over like a lead balloon.
Oh, the drama scene on that one. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
They should give you some kind of built-in, like at least 60-second.
Yeah. Totally. Dummy button or something. Right?
Yeah, exactly. We could use that tremendously. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
And then that autocorrect too. Like sometimes,
Yeah.
you gotta be careful because it could come out the wrong,
Yep,
exactly opposite of what you mean.
Yeah, totally. I've done
Yeah.
it, especially if you're trying to send, like you did, trying to send a text to a buddy of yours, like you do a male kind of joke and then you send it
Yeah.
to some female, especially if it's
Right.
not like your girlfriend, it's like a business associate or whatever.
But this wasn't
Oh.
even a joke. I was just describing, we're
Yeah,
gonna have it on
yeah.
a tree when we get
Yeah.
to the top of the mountain. And like it didn't sound very good.
I know. It's because she's got a sense of humor.
Because I said I bought a new toy,
Right.
meaning boxing device. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is like all the modern technology. Like, think before, like it was all like phones and all that kind of stuff. You talk to somebody on the phone, right?
Now you can't be 5 foot away, 3 feet away from it. It's like you feel like you're missing a limb.
I can't go take a crap without bringing my phone in with me. And I think to myself sometimes, what's going to happen with that? I can't wait.
I'll tell you what is happening. I'm getting really good at solitaire.
Yeah, but then your knees get all cramped up and everything. You get off the
Yeah,
toilet.
I know.
Yeah.
Also, I go, oh God, I've been in here for 4 hours.
How about the worst is if you pooped and you don't wipe and you just get distracted, you're on the phone. Then you get like,
I can honestly say that's never happened.
you gotta go take a shower. What's happened? I have to
Never
go take a
happened.
shower. I'd say. You don't have a bidet, do you?
No. I had one in Australia. Oh no, that was something else.
Oh, I just can't wrap my buns around it. Like,
Yeah, I think it's more for the female anatomy than it is. Yeah,
but
I believe so. I may be wrong, but
So like the whole theory is too, like, how do you know that you've got the water going up in the right direction? Like, what if you're leaning forward a little bit, you turn the water on, it goes up your back, right?
Then you would feel it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know what? They can get those portable ones now. Apparently, that you don't have to get a whole separate toilet. You attach.
Get one and train up on it.
Yeah.
It's like, going back to being a baby. It's a little
Right.
practice.
So, okay. So here's the process. So you poop, you wipe it with regular toilet paper,
Mhm.
and then you turn the bidet on to clean yourself. Now, what if you don't get it all off? You got to dry yourself, right? So you got to get a towel.
Or you get the Dyson hair dryer.
Get the hair dryer.
Yeah.
So you hair dryer. So now you're going to burn your butthole.
Exactly.
You got to keep it on cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So then you don't know if you're going to get all the poop off, and you can't look, right? I mean, that's got a mirror.
Mhm.
So then you go to dry it with the towel. Now you get it on the towel, right?
Well, yeah, I would think that's the process. But you could also, you have a video on your phone. You could set up a whole system.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Get a little
Yeah.
tripod it right in there.
Yeah.
Think of the whole process. See if somebody's watching it when you're doing that, right? I mean, it's like,
Yeah, it might raise a few questions.
you're like just wipe it. I did see this video. Oh, this actor, I think I mentioned Chris Helmsley. Was it Helmsley? He played some action. Is he an action?
Yeah, I think I know who it is.
He's funny. Like, he does some outtakes from his like movies. You can tell he wasn't serious. Somebody that other actors being all serious. He goes, when I wipe, it's like it's a marker. I keep wiping and wiping and wiping. It's still. And this girl in the background, like, she could tell she didn't know what he was going to be saying. Just die and laugh because he's great at, like, he's an actor. He's great at presenting it too. He's done a few. He did another one where these two women, they're in a lot of comedies too, and they're saying, well, like they look like they were teachers and whatever they're doing, and there's a bunch of people sitting around, and they said, well, we need a good comeback. Oh, hold on, it froze. I'm gonna unfreeze this. This is a great story. Well, I think it's a great story.
I can still hear you.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Yeah. No, it's just me alone. Great. This better be a great story. I think we're gonna.
We're back.
Oh, there you are.
All right. So these two women are saying, and kind of asking, like, what are some good comeback stories? And he goes, Kim Kardashian. And they're going, how does Kim Kardashian have a good comeback story? Well, he says, I'm pretty sure in the video there was cum on her back.
Jesus. Yeah, that's
And he's good. The way he's an excellent actor too. Like, and he's the way he presents it. And again, the people, it looks like the people around him really don't know what he's about to say. They think he's going to say a line from the movie. Oh man. They haven't structured me. Yeah, well, you know, you're right, Susan. Quit picking on it. I'm trying to fix it. If you come up with some ideas, I've got in. I don't know what it's doing that for. Let me see.
So when does Rempe come back tomorrow? When's the next game?
Yeah, four games, right? I think that's the third game.
He's done. So whenever the next game, when is it? Do they play tomorrow? I don't even know.
Oh, is he back? He's done with the suspension. Okay.
I think that was number 4 yesterday.
Yeah. It's really bad to sex pictures to your parents. Yeah, that's not a good idea. It's not good.
Yeah, I never want to do that. What's the problem with
what's that, brother? What'd you say?
Oh, I was going to say the problem now, the scary thing with the AI. I mean,
you
could look really compromised, and it's not you; it's just AI.
Yeah, we have a lot of people saying that if like don't post pictures, like if people are posting pictures of their children, then they can take those pictures and make it look like that. Like
right. So ransom. Yeah, you shouldn't. I advise people never to put the kids up. People still do. If anything, don't ever put up where they go to school, like a picture of them in school.
Right. What do you think of Rempe's game? I mean, Nick Fotiu, I can see the similarities there and the toughness. Nicky, and don't get me wrong, Rempe's tough. It looks like he doesn't really know what he's doing yet. Right. Like he's not grabbing the elbow like most guys do to stop the other guy from throwing punches. He's just standing back and throwing bombs. Nicky was more. He was a boxer. He was trained in boxing too, so technical. He was more technically savvy. Like I saw him with Ben Wilson one time, where he actually boxed with him, and Wilson didn't know what to do. Like Nicky's, getting the left jab going, and everything, and Wilson, hockey players aren't used to that. They didn't know what to do.
Well, some of the guys now, it's been going on for a while. Like, so they must work with a boxing coach over the summer. They'll grab the jersey and start jabbing.
Yeah.
Which is it's not going to do a lot of damage, but it's annoying, and it kind of throws the other guy off, and then you can come in with the right hand or whatever. Right. I think he's effective. I think he got way too much media that was not deserved.
Yeah.
And it worked against him because I think the 4 games is because of the media attention, quite frankly.
And now he's got a huge target on him now, so he's got to be.
Well, now the bad problem besides the target also is the next time he does something that's like on the edge, he's going to get nailed for it. And now the starting point's 4 games.
Yeah, and obviously a repeat offender.
Yeah,
I mean, I think there's a certain time period where if it doesn't get suspended, that repeat offender thing stops. Right.
Yeah, it'll expunge, but yeah.
John Scott is talking to Rempe on his podcast or helping him.
Well, I think there's a big difference between Rempe and Scott that I see now. Rempe can play a little bit. Like he scored a goal and he had one taken away that was just it was a snip. I mean, the double post.
I didn't see that.
They said it didn't went in. It kind of looked like it did, but whatever. It was a rip. And, if he could just kind of manage that part of his game, he could be really effective.
Yeah, and I think now, too, do we think, especially the way the game is now, like it's not like the 80s or 70s, where now he's going to have to fight more because he's taught to fight. Now I think it's going to be more, okay, people are going to stay away from him. He's showing what he can do. Just now you set the ground rules, just go play, and then every once in a while fight. You don't have to fight all the time. So.
Yeah, I mean the old way of hockey was you knew you were going to fight pretty much every night.
Yeah,
and you knew who you lay in your hotel bed. I mean, I didn't do it, but I know you did it. Another guy would think about the next game and who you got to go up. Is
totally.
he left-handed? If he
Yeah.
does he do this, does he do that? You know.
Yeah, that's the thing you don't realize when you come in. Like, again, I've joked about this before. I thought I was the toughest guy on the planet. Clearly, I was not. But you think you're going to come in the NHL, you're going to take on everybody, and that's going to be it. Well, that's just the start of it. Those guys
I think he would be well served to get together with Darren Langdon. I think that's the guy he needs to get together with.
Good point. You know what? That's an excellent point. Yeah. Langdon was a smart fighter.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He was a tactician, and I think that if Rempe can get a little bit of that with his reach and understand how to use that reach, he could really be.
He was smoking people. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
like Langdon's what 6'1", Rempe's what 6'6" or something like that. Yeah.
Almost 6'9" or 6'7.5" or 6.
Wow.
Yeah, he's huge, and I think you can recall to Craig Cox.
Yeah.
Kind of like tall and lanky, but he could fight.
Yeah.
You know?
Remember him and Probert too? They would just stand back and throw bomb and rock.
90 seconds straight.
People don't understand. I mean, fighting is okay. It's one thing to fight, but when you start getting hit with punches, and it's a big man throwing bare knuckle punches at you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when you really like. How tough are you at that point, right?
Not to mention the fact you're on 1/8 of an inch of steel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, people will lose track of that. You know, this guy, he should be throwing uppercuts. Really? How many fights you have on skates? How many fights did you ever have? And were they on skates? It's a whole different dynamic.
And for a lot of guys like me, like you get mad, so you snap, right? There's this button, and so there's a switch, your button goes off, and then you stand there and throw them for 15, 20, 25 seconds. Right. But the real good fighters then, okay, now they are really in a fight. For me, then I'm like, okay, time to hold on. I've lost my mind for a few seconds here, and I'm going to hold on.
Well, I mean, Ty Domi would tie you up.
Yeah.
No pun intended. Wait till you got tired, and then he'll just start throwing bombs.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
you know? It's like this kid.
Go ahead.
Oh, John Morasti, who's a well-known guy in the minor leagues. He's I don't know how tall he is. If he's 5'10", he's 5'10". I don't even know.
I would say, yeah.
But he's a tough native kid.
Yeah.
I mean, really tough. I knew his agent really well. But anyhow, the thing is, man, he was really smart. He knew how to fight, and he still does. I think he's teaching kids how to fight. Oh, man, he's on that show too, Shorzy or something.
Oh, is he on Shorzy? Oh, okay.
Yeah. He would throw bombs.
Oh, yeah. And here's funny because you can see other tough guys. You can tell they said, "Okay, we're going to throw bombs," and then once they were done, they tap each other on the head. Like, okay, and they're just standing there for 2 minutes beating the crap out of each other.
And I'm sure you know this, but I did a thing in Pickering, Ontario, a couple, 6-7 years ago, hockey thing, and we went out for dinner, and they started telling me about the Six Nations Reservation, which is up around Pickering. Right. And you want to see some good fights? Just put in YouTube Six Nations lacrosse fights.
Oh yeah.
I mean, oh man.
Yeah, the cross fights are good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don Brashear still playing men's league.
Somewhere. Yeah, he's playing somewhere. Yeah. Oh. Hey, he's the Mike Tyson of hockey, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, watching the videos of Mike Tyson, man, he's throwing some bombs in his training.
Yeah, they said that was staged. Staged or not, he's still doing it. Like, what do you mean it's staged?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like saying, in other words, it wasn't really indicative of the amount of time he trained. Like, it did a 15-second thing.
Oh.
So what? It's all he needs against. Sure. I mean, please.
Yeah, he's going to knock the guy out in the first round. Something like that.
I don't think they're going to allow it to happen. I think it's staged.
Oh, really?
Well, there's
a lot of money at stake, though, isn't there?
A lot of money. Yeah. It's Netflix's first foray into professional boxing because HBO, they tapped out. Yeah. Showtime's tapped out. There's no one left. Oh. So Netflix, and this would be, to my knowledge, their first. Well, it is their first boxing. I don't know if it's their first live event.
Interesting.
Sporting event.
I did not know. You do not know what you do not know.
They're talking big numbers. Like Tyson's going to get like upwards of $50 million.
That's what I read. Yeah. Totally good. All right. So this is an informative show today. Pooping.
We covered it all. Hockey, fighting, pooping. Yeah.
Dogs. I really got to put some thought into the whole bidet thing. You know, like it's not as much that I want to get it, but just like the whole, how do you do it? Like
go to Home Depot, see if they have one in Home Depot, and try it out right in the middle of the store.
I'm going to go to YouTube. You can get everything else on YouTube. Why can't you find out like a bidet or a bidet video?
Yeah,
but I guess how would you video that though? I mean, you can't have a camera in the toilet.
Well, there's a will, there's a way.
Good point.
Yeah.
Just keep wiping and wiping and wiping. It's like a marker back there. All right, everybody, have a fantastic day. Again, 988 hotline. A lot of mental health issues out there. Again, everybody helping each other out, the whole shoulder check mentality. Reach out and ask if everybody's okay. Mark, are you okay?
Yeah. I'm for now.
for now.
We're doing good. Yeah.
Don't send any nasty text messages to your lovely bride there.
No, I'm very careful now. Yeah.
Yes. There you go. All right, buddy. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you next week. Actually, we'll see you tomorrow with Molly at 10 o'clock right here.
That's right. Yeah.
Everybody.